Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is asking the Republican-controlled state legislature in Florida to give him $3.5 million so that he can reestablish a program in the state called the Florida State Guard. This was a program that was put in place during World War II to basically create this civilian military force here in the state of Florida to bolster the ranks of the National Guard, to basically act as a counterpart to that, because many National Guard members here in the state of Florida during World War II were obviously deployed elsewhere. The program was discontinued in 1947. The war was over, National Guard was back. There was no reason at all for the state of Florida to have its own little private military. But because the law was kept on the books that it could have its own military, Ron DeSantis has looked at this and said, you know what? That sounds like a fun idea. Why not turn the entire state of Florida into a giant civilian volunteer military force that only I can control? Now, DeSantis tells us that he wants this because, we're going to get about 200 people, he says, because we need disaster response in the state. We need to bolster that a little. We have lots of hurricanes that come here and possibly other natural disasters, of course, things that have been happening to Florida since the beginning of Florida itself. But 200 people, wow, that doesn't seem like a whole lot when you're talking about disasters. Not to mention the fact that we've already been through several natural disasters, major hurricanes here in the state of Florida since you've been president, and you never once thought that, hey, maybe we need extra people here. We get federal response for it. Anytime there's a hurricane anywhere in the South, and for those who've lived down here, you understand it, we have people coming in from literally all over the country. Power companies from neighboring states come down. We handle stuff. We've got this. It's rough going, but we don't need extra military to make this happen. Not to mention, when you're living in a state that has military bases all over it, they may not be the National Guard, but if you need people with military training to step in during a natural disaster, they're here. There's literally 3 major military bases just in my district alone. We're covered in terms of military. But the problem is DeSantis doesn't control them. Obviously, being the United States military, the commander-in-chief of that is President Joe Biden. And DeSantis wants his own military. Nothing good will come of this. I promise you, this is not something that the state of Florida needs, and it sure as hell isn't a power that Ron DeSantis himself needs. There's a reason we didn't keep the program going beyond 1947. There was no need for it. And as this governorship has changed hands countless times since then, Republicans and Democrats alike running the state of Florida, not once did they ever come forward and say, I'm going to reactivate this program to deal with natural disasters. It simply didn't happen because it simply wasn't needed. Make no mistake, this is Ron DeSantis wanting his own private army. We're going to pay, because I have no doubt the state legislature is going to give him this authority, we're going to pay to train these civilians, to give them military training, but to not have them bound by the same rules, regulations, and oaths as the military itself. They will not be loyal to the United States. They will not be loyal to President Joseph Biden. They will be loyal to Ron DeSantis himself.